When they added those new potions, I didn't really grasp just how broken they were really going to be. Like, I've already had a little bit of an experimentation with the slime potion. You've seen that in the previous episodes, but this is ridiculous. So I recently stumbled across a video by a guy called Unhappybean on this like ridiculous transportation tech that is quite new and only works because of this infested potion. The idea is you stack up an insane amount of entities in a small area, hit them with the wind charge potion, splash potion of wind charging, and then when they die, they release a ridiculous amount of those gust burst things, and then if you're flying with an elytra at the exact same time, you just shoot off into the distance at literally double the speed of sound. It's insane. And I want to build one. I really want to build one. I'm really hoping that they don't patch this or change it in the future, because I think there's a real chance that they might actually do that. But yeah, in order to get an idea of how we were actually going to build that farm, I first of all wanted to make this silverfish farm, because you'll be using silverfish for our wind elytra cannon thing. So I found this video by Regund. It was actually recommended again by Unhappybean, and it basically puts allays on a campfire, which I've now extinguished, and they take damage. You give them a potion of infested, and because allays are basically immortal, because they basically just can't die, they just keep producing silverfish. Like, it's ridiculous. How many silverfish are even here right now? So you can see the entity count at the top left there. It says 0. There are 414 silverfish here right now, and that was with 2 of those potions. We could put more allays in there, and we could just have more potions in there. We could have the potions be running for 8 minutes instead of 3, and we'd just get like an insane amount of silverfish. I want to see how much XP I get from killing these things. So let's do XP set Excalibur 0 levels and 0 points. Okay, so now we're going to just kill all these silverfish. Level 35. Like, level 35 from this. That's just ridiculous. I gotta build one of these. So I've made a slight improvement here. There was an issue previously where the allays would actually escape through the top sometimes, and they were also just kind of existing in the block that was there and taking suffocation damage but never dying because they're allays. So I've just simply replaced it with a half slab, which seems to do the job perfectly. I was worried that they would be too high up to take damage from the campfire, but they're not. They still take damage from the campfire. It's pretty good. Like, even when they're pushed up right up against the stone slab above them, they still get damaged by the campfire. So this is a much cleaner and slightly better way of doing it, I guess. If we wanted to have the farm be toggleable, we could also make it so that we can just turn this off, and then we can stop, like, you know, torturing these poor bastards. And then we can turn it back on again and do our thing. I'm just gonna run this one more time. I want to see it in action. Look at that. Alright, so after watching that initial video by Unhappybean, I ended up finding a video by a guy called Nonuntitled. He's basically taken the upgraded concept of this whole machine and just improved it even further, and he even provided a schematic for it as well. So I've just spent the last half an hour like learning how to use Lightmatica, because I've never used it before. But here it is. Here's the thing. Here's the machine. It's pretty cool. It's very noisy, so I'm going to keep my distance from it for now. But essentially, I think what's happening here, they've chosen to go with armadillos instead of allays. I think I'm going to go with allays because I like them now. But yeah, this guy's used armadillos. They're constantly in their shells because of the fact that there's a hostile mob nearby, or I guess it's not actually a hostile mob, but it counts. They're still scared of it, I guess. And I didn't know this, but I guess when armadillos are inside their shells, they're just invincible? Is that how it works? That's crazy. I didn't realize how overpowered armadillos are. But yeah, so you can also, you know, throw a splash potion of invested at them, and then they'll create silverfish. The silverfish get pushed over here. This machine has no water involved, so that it can be built in the nether, but that's not really an issue for us because we're building this in the overworld. But yeah, then the silverfish fall down to here. They take the right amount of fall damage when they're on this trapdoor, and they get slowly filtered through to the vine holding area at the bottom. And right now there's about 250 silverfish in there. So I'm going to give this a go. I haven't done this yet. I've got my elytra ready. Let's give it a go. Let me get my F3 menu up just in case. So I have to line myself up really perfectly with this, and then I believe I just, like, go for it. Oh, hang on. Creative mode problems. Go for it. What the fuck? Holy shit! That's 10,000 blocks. 11,000... 12,000. The world just isn't loaded. What the fuck, man? Okay, well now I'm at like Y minus 80, so I think maybe the game is probably just having a meltdown right now. I think I should stop and let the game load. I don't think we're going to get much further than this. I mean, 10,000 blocks is already incredible, and actually what I was looking for, so this is fine. I'm gonna just stop flying now and let the world catch up. Wow. Okay, well, I mean, I'm in the void right now, so I'm just going to correct that. Oh. Okay, I don't think it liked that. Am I still flying? I am. Can I, like... What? What's going on? Oh, okay. That's not what I expected. I don't think the game liked that. I can't die. I'm at minus 230 and I'm not dying. Where's the world gone? Why can't I fly? Can I save and quit? I'm going to try saving and quitting. I mean, that's not the best solution to this problem, but it is a solution, I guess. Oh, is it not? It's just not liking it. Oh. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, okay. 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 It's working. I'm at 9,000, apparently, not 14,000. What? How has that happened? I need to go home. Can I just, like, do that? Yeah, okay, sweet. So quite a bit of experimentation later, and I've come up with a really good design. But before I show it, I want to just talk through a few of my thought processes here. So first of all, this was the initial design for the silverfish spawning chamber. Obviously, the infested potions would be in here. I believe the allays have died or escaped, unfortunately. But the silverfish would spawn in, drop into this water pool, and move down this chamber where we would separate them by pistons. So they would go down different tubes to go to one of the 4 different directions that we want to have this device fire in. I realized this was not going to work, and that actually a much easier design was just like this, where we have a much larger collection area at the top. I always like this idea. I use this for dungeon farming as well, where, you know, if you have a 9x9 area, just a piece of water in each corner perfectly brings them to the center, which is pretty useful. So once they go down this middle tube, they go into this water in the middle, and that will basically be directed based on which piston is lowered, so we can change the direction by doing that. You know, and now they're going into a different direction. This is perfect for what I want to achieve with this machine. Over here, I decided to do a little bit of testing with how to damage the silverfish. I separated the launch chamber for the player from this design we found over here, and realized that the silverfish actually drop a maximum height of 6 blocks onto this trapdoor. Now, I tried a few different methods for this. I tried, you know, getting silverfish to fall down 6 blocks, and they do take a good amount of damage. But I've actually found that 8 blocks seems to be the ideal point. This is the most consistent point where they get reduced to a very low amount of health, but don't die. A drop of 10 blocks is not ideal, because most of the silverfish will die. It's not 100% consistent, some of them survive, but we want all of them to survive and still be on low health. So 8 blocks drop is perfect for the silverfish. So with that in mind, I designed this new chamber, which is obviously ideal for what we're going to be doing. This like drop chute for the silverfish isn't long enough to have the 8 block drop be here, but that's not a problem anyway, because we're already using this like splitting system that I designed over here. So with all that in mind, I introduce the Axis Silverburst engine. Name decided by ChatGPT. I have no shame. ChatGPT slaps, okay? If you disagree with me, then whatever. I don't have time to come up with cool names. ChatGPT does it for me with a few neat prompts. Anyway, this is a machine that I have designed to basically have this wind elytra cannon work in 4 different directions using the same Allay silverfish spawner. So I'll give a quick demonstration of how this actually works. First of all, the trapdoor has been switched out for a fence gate, because the trapdoor, when it's open, actually has like a tiny hitbox which the silverfish could get stuck on. So yeah, you can see here, like if we have a trapdoor and it's open, you can still technically stand on this part of the trapdoor, right? And the silverfish can too. So that wasn't particularly ideal. But a fence gate essentially becomes air. When it's open, you can just completely pass through it in every direction. So a fence gate was perfect for this situation, because the silverfish never get trapped here. So what you have to do is pick which direction you want to go. In this case, I am going to go in this direction. So we'll open that water chute there. And then all we have to do is activate this dispenser at the top, giving the allays the infested potion. I actually turned off the campfire because I got fed up of hearing the allays dying. It's so sad. But now they have to do that for us. So yeah, so I'll let the silverfish stack up for a minute, and then I'll give you a little demonstration of how this works. So once you have the silverfish stacked up here, all you have to do is aim at the target block, drop down the chute, and... And that is exactly why this wall is here, because I've been testing this and didn't want to like shoot off into oblivion and have to teleport back here. But it is working in all 4 directions, which I think is so awesome. Unfortunately, one of the problems we're having right now, which I don't really know what to do about other than just like box this in, which we will at some point do, is when these silverfish die, there's so many of them that the wind burst actually hits like these levers over here and it messes up the water flow system. So, I mean, this will probably be boxed in, right? This is probably going to just be filled in with like stone. I'm probably going to build like a giant floating island around this thing because I think that'll look pretty sick. But yeah, this is it. This is how the machine's going to work. So we have a chest here full of the wind charging potions. We have a dispenser filled with the firework rockets. Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's kind of good to go, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of materials involved in building this, and it's not a particularly nice shape to build either. But I think this is pretty much done, and I'm ready to put it into my survival world. So I already installed Light Matica. I don't really know how to use it. I know that you need a stick, and then there's like this, but I don't know how this works. So I'm going to go watch a tutorial, and then I'll figure this out. Okay, that was actually really easy. All I had to do was just simply go onto the right mode with the stick and then move the corners of the selection area to where I'd already placed these diamond blocks, and then that's it. That whole thing is just saved, and now I can place it. I turns out I can actually look up the requirements for the build as well. If I do like a material list here, apparently you can do an info HUD. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It even tells you like how many stacks of each of the thing that you need. That's awesome. Right, so obviously this is actually a test build of the device, and we don't need to have all of this be like glass and concrete, and the wool here is unnecessary as well. So we can actually remove all of this stuff. So I'm going to make a version 2.0 of the same machine and then save that as a schematic instead, and then we'll place it in the survival world and get building it. Okay, I just had like a hilarious blunder that I wanted to share with you guys. So I wouldn't usually build a contraption out of white concrete. It's just kind of what I've been using for, you know, readability and cleanliness while I've been designing this. So I decided to switch all of the blocks out for stone brick. And I'm sure you can probably see where this is going already. I was like, hang on, I've changed quite a lot here. So I'm just going to give it another test. I'm going to give it another go. I'll spawn some silverfish in. And would you believe it, the silverfish immediately just start burrowing into the stone brick. So I should have probably anticipated that. So now we have to decide what we build this out of. What did silverfish burrow into? I'm not sure. I think it's just stone and stone brick. You can see they're still doing it. I got to find out. Alright, so it turns out silverfish can infest stone, cobblestone, deep slate, and like any version of stone bricks or deep slate bricks. So we're kind of limited for choice on what we actually build this thing out of. Usually when I'm building this sort of tech, I would just build everything out of stone bricks because it's just like clean and easy to come by. But I'm considering building this out of like wood, because the silverfish won't be able to burrow into wood, but having like wood and flowing water seems really weird. Like the wood would go like manky. I don't know. I don't know what to build this thing out of. Maybe we actually just will build it out of white concrete. Like, is that an idea? I don't know how hard to get white concrete actually is. So yeah, I'm not very familiar with vanilla Minecraft now I think about it. I'm gonna find out how I get white concrete. So yeah, I know I'm like 10 years late on this or something ridiculous, but you know, white concrete powder turns into white concrete when you put it in water, and it doesn't work if you throw it into a cauldron. You just get white concrete powder back. That is so boring. I feel like that should be a feature. I feel like that's probably the better way of doing it. I don't want to have to place down and mine a ton of blocks from water. That is so inconvenient. Isn't tough just wonderful? Like, I'm so glad they added this block to the game. It's such a good block. And may I present to you the Axis Silverburst Engine 2.0. This will not be the final design of this. There will be a 3.0, I imagine, because at some point in the future, when I've actually built this thing in survival mode, I do want to wire up these pistons to some sort of like display system that's on this this main floor here. I'm not fully sure how I want to go about doing this just yet. I might have like an item frame with a sword in it, and then like, you know, check which direction the sword is facing to kind of decide which of these pistons gets pulled down. But I can't be bothered working out the redstone for that right now. So I'll leave it for the time being and we'll come back to it. We can always make changes to this in the future. We can always improve it, which is like the good thing about Minecraft, right? So yeah, but right here I've also added one extra feature as well, just a really simple thing to stop this observer from firing all the time. If we remove this block from, you know, the redstone's path, then this system switches off, which is just less noisy, frankly. It would be really nice if we could like manually enable and disable this campfire up here. The best way of doing that would be to have another dispenser here which has like a flint and steel on it, and a water bucket. but that gets more complicated as well. So, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know how to get the redstone in here for that anyway. I mean, maybe we could have a dispenser, like, on 3 of the 4 sides, but then I don't know how the silverfish would actually come out. I'm going to give that a try real quick. Alright, so I've got a dispenser on 3 of the 4 sides of this spawning chamber here, and you can see some of them are getting caught up in the blocks on the top, but they either wriggle their way off or just like die from suffocation damage, which is fine. I mean, we're spawning so many silverfish from this system that I really don't mind. I would rather have the convenience of being able to toggle the system on and off from the main floor. Oh, they're gonna keep dying there, aren't they? Oh, sorry guys. But yeah, so I think that's probably the best way of doing it. I'm not gonna wire up the redstone for these just yet because I don't really know where we'd put them. But I just know for a fact that building this allay chamber is gonna be easier if we do it with the dispensers there initially, because actually moving the allays in there is probably one of the more challenging parts of this build. Right, I'm gonna extinguish that campfire, make sure that they're not like spawning too many silverfish. There we go. And then, yeah, once I get those out of that system, I am going to save the schematic and load it up in my survival world. So I've built a little platform in the sky here, which is like roughly where I actually want to build this thing. Got my stick ready as well. So I believe what we should do now is just simply open up the menu, go to my schematics. I've got the Axis Silverburst Engine 2.1 here, because I just removed the diamond blocks from the schematic. And there it is. Holy shit, it's just here. Sweet, okay. So I think what I have to do now is just kind of shuffle it into place, and then once I've got the placement right, I just simply put the stick down, and then that's it. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty sick. Okay, I'm going to expand the platform underneath us so it's just really easy to build this thing, and then get to it. So with the schematic placed, I can bring up the info HUD for the materials list. I can head back to my base over here in the ocean and pick up all the materials we need. This mod is awesome. This is going to make this whole process so incredibly easy. That's right, I just spent 17 minutes planning and designing this thing, and then 5 seconds actually building it. You're welcome. Alright, so there are a couple of things that we need to do to get the machine operational. First of all, I need to craft a fuckload of fireworks to fill up the dispensers that we have to kill the silverfish. Then we also need to make an absolutely ludicrous amount of wind charging potions. Then we also need to make a decent number of infested potions. And we also need to get allays up into that chamber at the top just there. So how are we going to find allays, first of all? I believe I'd need to find a pillager outpost that's like preferably somewhat nearby. And then I can just simply like, you know, quote-unquote tame the allays by giving them an item, and they should just follow me back here and walk right into the trap. It is the plan, at least. So I guess I gotta find a pillager outpost now. So here we have an excellent view of my world, Mundus, as it's called, which is just Latin for world. That was why the title of episode 1 was Itinere Mundus, or however the fuck you pronounce that. This is the entire world. This is a software called Unmined. It's a pretty sweet way of viewing an entire world top down. This is every chunk that's been generated by myself. The little bit down here that's kind of split off from everything, that's actually where the Nether Fortress is, that has like the really good wither skeleton spawns in the Soul Sand Valley. I put a portal in that fortress and then just kind of peeked into the overworld to see if anything interesting was there, and there wasn't. It's quite boring. But this is the entire area we've explored. Obviously, spawn is over here. You can see the chunks that we've been removing there at spawn. Obviously, my original base is over this area. And if we move down this way, we've got the ocean thing. Is that redstone? I guess that's probably redstone. That looks really cursed, though, doesn't it? But yeah, they've got the, the base and the ocean monument, which is very nearly finished being drained. And down here we have the new base location with the Axis Silverburst engine, the basement area that we constructed last episode. And there is also this neat feature which allows you to highlight specific blocks. Now, in this situation, what I'm looking for is dark oak planks, which I've specified over here on the right. Now, dark oak planks do actually spawn quite often in Minecraft. I believe that a lot of these are like mine shafts, potentially? I don't really know, because that's like a mountain, right? Yeah, this is a mountain, so I don't know why there would be dark oak planks underneath a mountain. Like, if it was a Badlands, I'd understand, because obviously Badlands are going to have, like... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's a mine shaft, right. That's even more interesting then, because if that's a mine shaft, that's what it looks like. What the heck is that? What is that? I'm interested to find out. But apparently there are dark oak planks there somewhere, so maybe we'll go check that out afterwards. Anyway, the thing we're looking for, I believe the closest one is right here. This is a pillager tower. It's about the right shape for a pillager tower. It's got those like columns on the side that you'd expect to see. There's actually two of these really close together here that we can go and investigate. You can see there's probably like a shipwreck in the ocean there. But so what we're going to have to do is essentially go from our base to this pillager tower and then walk the allays back all the way there and somehow bring them up to the holding chamber. I'm hoping the allays will just follow me as I go up the scaffolding, but we might need to make a big staircase if they don't agree with that for some reason. But I'm pretty sure if I use my elytra to go back from there to the base, they're just going to detach really quickly because the elytra is just so fast. So yeah, we're going to have to fly there, fight some pillagers, free some allays, if there even are allays at this pillager outpost. There might not be. And then we'll have to walk back home where they'll be imprisoned forever. So I was flying over to the pillager outposts. They're like, you know, a couple hundred blocks that way, but I found this village on the way here, and I thought it was kind of an interesting village, so I wanted to have a look by. It spawned in a poppy meadows, so there's lots of my pretty little poppy plants everywhere. But then I noticed, you know, weird generation, and it gets even worse. There's like tall grass over here with grass blocks above it, and because of the way that my models work, you know, the lower half of the grass is this axis, and the top half of the grass is the other axis. So we have this like really cursed 2D grass with a grass block above it. And I just looked at this and was like, ah yes, the grass block plant, my favorite. Alright, looks like that's the first pillager tower. I'm just going to have a look around, see if we can get the location of the second one before we take this on, just so I know for absolute sure where the other one is. I believe it should just be this way. There's the village. Yeah, so there's the second pillager tower over that way. There's barely anything around that one, actually. Let's just check this one first, because I'm pretty confident there's no allays nearby. And yeah, look at that. That's the Dark Oak shipwreck that we saw on the map as well. Pretty sure there's nothing here. Yeah, there's just a tent with some pumpkins, some logs. I don't think there's much here. I'm just going to loot the place because, like, might as well. What do you have for me? Sentry armor trim. I don't know if I've got that one yet, but I do now. Hooray. Alright, so this pillager outpost is looking a lot more promising. There's a ton of structures around it compared to the other one. So I'm betting that one of these cages does have allays in it. Let's see. I think I see some blue over there. Yeah, there's an allay. Lovely. So how many did you get in a cage? 2 of them. That's fine. That's great. We need 16. So the more that we can get to begin with, the better. You know, I've never done this before, but someone kind of told me I'm an idiot. Like, you can just free the iron golems and they'll help you, right? Right? What? Dude, what the help me. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I can't blame him then in that case. There we go. Fuck him up. Yeah. Come on, buddy. Get out here. Anyway, I think there's some more allays in here. Yeah, so we've got 2 more. So we've got 4 allays. That's awesome. There's another cage over here, but I don't think there's anything in it. No, it's just an empty cage. Alright. Lots of tents in this camp, though. It's pretty cool. This might be one of the most populated pillager outposts I've found. This is actually really good. Just going to finish that guy off. So, what we need to do is free the 4 allays, get them to walk back to base with us. I'm going to try flying, but I don't think it's going to work. And then we have to just get them in that little chamber at the top, and we can start duplicating them. Wait, how the fuck did that he spawned inside the cage. Like, that guy wasn't here a second ago, right? Yeah, fuck him up. I didn't realize, like, because we just looked in this cage, right? And he wasn't there. So I'm pretty sure that guy just spawned inside the cage. That's amazing. Come on out, buddy. Or not. Wait, no, don't fly away. Don't fly away. I need you to be my friend. No. Don't fly away. There we go. Okay, yeah. So I didn't really understand how these guys worked up until very recently. But if you give them a block, then they're, like, tamed. That's it. That's all you have to do. So it's pretty easy to get them to follow along. There are a lot of pillagers spawning here now, so I probably should deal with these guys. They keep shooting the cows. Don't shoot the fucking cows. What'd the cows do? Where's the other allay? Is it still in the cage? It is. Right, come here. Have a block. There we go. Now you're my friend. Are you going to follow me? Yeah, there we go. They're so cute. Oh my god. I love that they give off light as well. I'm pretty sure it's fabulously optimized making them give off light. But even still, it's still pretty great. Have a dirt block. Have a dirt block, my friend. There we go. Now we have 4 allays. 4 already. That's awesome. Okay. I don't think these guys can really die. I'm pretty sure once they have a block, they're pretty much good to go forever. Oh yeah. He brought me another grass block. Oh, these guys are great. I love them. They're actually really fucking useful. Like, it might be worth keeping a couple of these guys around just to use them for other things. Like, I can imagine myself mining sand or stone, and these guys would be really helpful. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put 2 of them in the machine to be duplicated, and I'll store 2 of them somewhere else, and we'll keep them around for another time. Okay. Let's do a quick flight test. I'm going to see if they follow me. I don't think they're going to follow me. I'm pretty sure they're going to get detached and stay down there. Okay, they actually followed me quite far. I'm going to fly a ways away here and see if they still know where I am. Let's see. Are you coming this way? They actually are coming this way. Okay. Right, so they can realistically follow me with an elytra. That's pretty sick. I'm going to go into the wonderful third-person camera here so we can have a better flight experience. I'm going to fly over to that mountain and see if they follow me, because that's pretty far. Like, if they can follow me all the way over here to this cherry grove, I'm pretty sure we're good to just fly home. I don't see him. Okay. I think we might have to walk. Where did they go? That's concerning. Oh, there they are. Okay, yeah, so they just got unloaded because I traveled too far away from them. That's fine. Maybe if I just, like, fly slowly, they'll be able to keep up with me for now. That kind of works. Yeah, right, that actually kind of works. How have I slept on these cute little fuckers for so long? They're like, awesome, and I think they're going to be really helpful as well. How poetic. As dawn breaks, we see their forever home. Do you mind? I'm trying to have an emotional moment right here. Do you come on. Okay, I want to see if they manage to go up the scaffolding with me. They've been pretty good with flying so far. I've been able to even, like, you know, rocket up a cliffside. And as long as I take my elytra off mid-flight path, they're okay to just, you know, carry on with it. So, yeah. They can follow pretty far. I'm impressed. So, yeah. Right, so are they going to follow me up the scaffolding? Pretty sure they will. Can't see a reason why they wouldn't now. We should be able to get them into the trap and get them duplicating. So I'm currently just trying to coax them into the trap by just repeatedly throwing dirt blocks on the ground. These 2 guys have been really good in getting in here, but the other 2 have been, like, in and out multiple times, and I don't have that much. Oh, wait, can't I just, like, throw down tons of dirt? Oh, okay. It's saving. Okay, there we go. So if I just throw down tons of dirt, that's going to mean that there's loads of things for them to target, right? So that's, like, more targets for the ones that are outside, I think. I don't know how it works. I just want all 4 of them in here, and we can remove some later if we want to. They're very good. They're very efficient. Like they're picking these up faster than I can grab them. Wait, is that 3? That's 3. Okay, we have 3. Okay, they keep going to the campfire, and I don't know why. They just really want to, like, burn from the looks of things. Where's the last guy? There's one more. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, okay. So let's coax you inside. There's a dirt block. Come on. There you go. Sweet. And now if I bring you over here. Yeah, and then over here. Yeah, there we go. 4 allays. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of them in the room. Very cool. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of Skal Plays Minecraft. I just wanted to give a quick update because this has kind of happened very recently and I haven't really had time to talk about it. But the 2 recent Celeste videos that I posted, version 0.23 and also a smaller update on the visual enchanting update, those videos have performed incredibly well in a really short space of time. So if you're one of the new viewers who's come in to see Celeste from the YouTube homepage or YouTube recommendations, thank you so much for giving my video a try. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you'll stick around for more content coming soon. In the next episode of Skal Plays Minecraft, we'll finish off the Axis Silverburst engine and use it to explore some far reaches of our world here. And until next time, hope you enjoyed, hope you have a very nice day, take care, bye bye.